Hi, welcome back. This is going to be a little bit different from what I usually put up here. We're actually going to be looking at a little bit of Hearthstone today. Usually we do Legends of Runeterra here, but Hearthstone just started announcing new card leaks for their next expansion, which is a undersea themed expansion along the lines of like Ajara and all that stuff. Over the last week, I started to see a lot of new cards get released, and I want to take a look at them and make a judgment on whether I think these are good or worthless or whatever they are. Now, bear in mind, full disclosure here, this is judgments coming from someone who hasn't played Hearthstone in a very long time. I recently reinstalled the game to kind of see where the game is sitting right now. And I'm seeing a lot of angry people in the meta, honestly. A lot of people bitching about things like quests, things like being able to just kill you from hand. People talking about the board not mattering at all, which is honestly makes me very glad I haven't been playing this game in a while. So we're gonna take a look at these, and we're going to make judgment calls on basically a person who hasn't played the game for a long time, seeing if we think this is going to be good or not. So let's just go down the list and see what they have revealed for us already. And looks like it starts with Hunter. Hunter has a 2-mana 2/3 Naga. That's a new tribe right there called Rajnajan. After you cast a spell, deal damage equal to its cost to the enemy hero. It's pretty good. I personally think that's pretty good. I mean, right off the bat, if you're not even casting another spell, he's a Rivercroc stats. That's 2 for a 2/3. But just being able to just throw out a bunch of small spells, or even like a couple big ones, like, and just smashing your opponent's face in, like that's pretty decent. I mean, especially with I believe it's the Hunter quest that is very focused on just face damage as quickly as possible. I think that's going to see some significant play, at least for a hunter that wants to go fast very early. So I think that's very good. Next, you have the Twin Bow Terror Coil. That's another Naga. It's a 4-mana 4/4. Decent stats. Battlecry. If you've cast a spell while holding this, your next spell casts twice. If you've cast a spell while holding this. Okay, wording's a little odd, but I think I'm getting what the gist of this is. Is basically if you've played a card, played a spell, while that's in your hand, that the Naga itself will like remember that, or kind of like log that she's seen a spell go off, and then you play it. Then your next spell casts twice. So it's almost like she stores a memory of a card being played, and then the next spell you play after that doesn't have to be the same one that she saw earlier, and that just fires off twice. If you've cast a spell while holding this, your next spell costs. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. So you need to cast a spell, then cast that, then cast a spell, and she'll fire off that second spell a second time. It's got good synergy, absolutely. It's got very good synergy with not just Rajnajan, but very good synergy with just a hunter that wants to cast a lot of like direct face damage spells. Like that's, if I were a hunter player, I would definitely play that. That's just a good card. I think that's a good card. Okay, we're moving on to Warrior here. Next we have the Black Scale Brute. He is a taunt battlecry. He's a 7-mana 5/6. He's a Naga also. It reminds me of the Naga Myrmidons from Warcraft 3. If you have a weapon equipped, summon a 5/6 Naga with Rush. Okay. Taunt, Battlecry. If you have a weapon equipped, which you're going to because you're playing Warrior, summon a 5/6 Naga. So you get 10, 12 worth of stats on turn 7 if you're holding a weapon, which you're going to because you're playing Warrior. Yeah, that's just good. And the second half of that card will just smack down whatever is on the opposite side of the board, leaving you with the Taunter and potentially the 5/6 Naga with Rush, because 6 is a lot of hit points. Yeah, that's full disclosure here. I personally hate Warrior. I do not like playing Warrior. I do not like playing against Warrior. So when I see Warrior getting good stuff like this, it kind of gives me the chills. Okay, next up, okay, we've got a Legendary. He's a Colossal. And for what I understand of Colossals, the Colossal +1 means it comes into play with an additional portion of it. And it's not a battle cry. It's just if it is summoned from hand, if it's summoned in another manner, if it comes like back from like your graveyard or something, however this comes into play, it will always come in with the Colossal portion. Now, its actual battle cry is discover 3 pirates to crew Nellie's ship. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take a closer look at this. Let's take a look at the pirate ship itself. Okay, so 7 mana, she comes in, 5/5, with Nellie's pirate ship, which looks like is on the back of her body. The 5 mana, 2/6 Taunt Death Rattle. Add Nellie's pirate crew to your hand. They cost 1. I can see this being problematic. I can see this being very problematic. I understand that that Pirate Warrior is also a thing, and this is just more support for it. Now, will it make the cut? That's another question altogether, because I believe Pirates kind of want to end the game quickly, and turn 7 is pretty on the late side. But on the other hand of that is, yeah, it's a later card, but it will also give you more gas to help you finish out the game. It's like nothing feels worse than playing like an aggro list and having it, you just run out of gas at the last minute right before you can cross the finish line and win the game. But a card like this could definitely help you refill your hand, get more threats on board. The pirate ship has taunt, so they're gonna have to kill it if they want to get to 1 Nelly or 2 your face, which means you're gonna get those pirates to your hand, and then all costing 1. Also, the battle cry says discover 3 pirates to crew Nellie's ship. How do you discover cards? You choose an option out of 3. Okay, that's one option, and then the second pirate, you do the same thing again. And the third pirate, you do the same thing again. So it's 3 different instances of discover. And it's very possible to get the same good pirates each time. I mean, that'd be an extremely high roll situation, but can you imagine getting like a legendary pirate on each time that it comes up? That would piss me off. I'm very certain that would piss me right the hell off. I think that's going to be a good card. If I were to play it in Pirate Warrior, I would definitely play it as like the top end of the entire deck. It'd just be like the last card to come in and help me cross that finish line. So yeah, very good card. I think I'm going to be seeing a lot of that. Okay, on to Mage. Nice. Mage is my favorite class in not just World of Warcraft, but Hearthstone as well. Like I love playing Mage, so seeing that we have quite a few options here makes me very happy. But let's see if any of these are actually good. Let's see. So we start off with Mecha Shark. It is a 3 mana 4/3 mech. After you summon a mech, deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies. After you summon a mech, deal... That's pretty good. Well, it could be good if we get enough mech support. And so far, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 mechs right now. I don't know if Neutral's going to give us more mechs or not, but if we're playing this in Standard, you're going to need a lot of mechs to make that go off. It's a pretty cool effect. It's a good body. It's a 4/3 for only 3 mana. It's very aggressive. I don't see that clause going off very often if we don't get a lot of mechs to come in with this. So we'll hold off judgment on that one until we see more of the cards. Next up, we have Gifts of Ajara. It's a 2 mana spell, arcane spell. Draw a card. If you played a Naga while holding this, do it again. Draw a card if you... Okay, yeah. Oh, if you played a Naga while holding... Okay. So this is kind of in the reverse of that Hunter card from earlier. That one wants to see a spell played before it's cast. This one is, it wants you to be holding a Naga while you're casting that. It's too bad you can't play Mage Hunter together. That'd be the perfect synergy. And that is one of my biggest gripes about Hearthstone is its class system makes it so rigid. It's very hard to build interesting decks that would allow you to combine strategies from like different colors or different regions. Like Legends of Runeterra allows you to combine 2 regions together to come up with new ideas. Magic allows you to combine any of the 5 colors together, so long as you have the mana base to support it, to come up with new strategies, new ideas. It's, from a deck building perspective, I love those games for that. I just wish that we would have like, maybe not like a standard legal format, or maybe like just a side format that allows us to play in deck build with multiple classes at the same time. I think that'd be very interesting. I'd be very, very interested in that. But anyways, Gifts of Ajar, draw a card. If you're holding a Naga, do it again. Yeah, that's almost always going to be a draw 2 for 2 if you build your deck correctly. No, so it's decent. I said it's a good middle of the road card. It's a good support card for the archetype. Next up, we have the mech Colossal for Mage. His name is Gaia the Tectronic. It is a 5/6 mech for 8 mana, Colossal 2, which means it comes in with 2 appendages. After a friendly mech attacks, deal 1 to all enemies. Okay, let's get a closer look at this. Okay, so it comes in with 2 Gaia's drills. Okay, so it's a drill mech, and so it comes with 2/3 rush, 2/3 rush. Okay, so this, you're playing 8 mana for a 5/7. 7, you've been playing 7. You're getting 7, 13, 9, 13 worth of stats for 8 mana. Stats-wise, that's fucking awesome. That's really good. After friendly mech attacks, deal 1 damage to all enemies. Okay, so that means these are basically attacking into a unit for 3. 3 and then 4 if they both attack, because this is cumulative. It's going to deal 1 damage to all enemies every time a friendly mech attacks, including Gaia itself. So if you got a good amount of mechs in here, maybe like a bunch of like 1-cost, 2-cost mechs to kind of flood the board, and you drop Gaia, I mean, that's a board wipe right there. Yeah, that is absolutely a board wipe. So yeah, decent. Now we're going to need a lot more support to make that a reality, though. It might be able to go off in Wild, but in Wild you're not putting this in your deck, because 8 mana is way too much for that format. I mean, that format's fucking insane. This will be a standard card only, and if this is going to work, you're going to need a lot of mechs to make it work. On its own, it's pretty decent. I mean, if you don't have any other mechs, if you're just playing this as a board ping, I think it might be worth it. Again, more mechs. We need more mechs in order to make that work. But here's another one. This is a 3 mana 3/4. Okay, so you got prime stats for this boy. He is a Jarn Sweeper, Battlecry. Put a Sunken Sweeper on the bottom of your deck. All right, let's take a look at the associated card. Okay, there's the Sunken Sweeper. It is a 3/3/4 Battlecry. Add 3 random mechs to your hand. Okay, there's the support we needed. Only thing is we need to dredge this up. And dredge is the new mechanic from this set that allows you to take something that you put on the bottom of your deck and you bring it all the way up to the top so you can actually play with it. It's a fun mechanic. The payoff for this has to be big. In order to go through all the steps needed for dredge to work, the payoff has to be good. Otherwise, why would you go through all the effort? Because it's like a 3-step process. It's like, first you play the card that puts the sunken treasure into your deck, but it puts it all the way at the bottom, so you're never going to see it unless you have a dredge. So then you play a card that dredges, be it a spell or a dude, something that dredges, and that will bring it up to the top. And then you have to draw that card the next turn. You're not drawing it. It's not coming in your hand. It's going to the top of your deck. Then you draw it the next turn, and then you play it. to get the potential benefit. But for this one right here, all it is it's a 3-mana 3/4. It's a mech, so it's got synergy. It puts that guy on the bottom of your deck. Then you have to bubble it up to the top, and then play it. And the benefit is, okay, now you got 2 3/4 mechs, and it adds 3 random mechs to your hand. Those 3 random mechs better be good. I mean, because why would you go through all that effort? But one of the 3 random mechs might be your Colossal. So that's pretty good. Being able to get multiple Colossals in one game is pretty sweet, not gonna lie. But this one's pretty low on the totem pole for me right now. But hopefully we can get some better stuff for mech synergies in Mage. As that is right there, it's like it's okay. It doesn't make me excited though. All right, next up we got a Naga. It is a 2-mana 2/3, so good stats for a 2-mana creature. Battle Cry. If you've cast a spell while holding this, discover a spell. Okay, there we go. We got more spell synergy. So it works very good with Gifts of Ajara. Play Gifts of Ajara while this is in your hand. Draw 2 cards, and then play this. If you've cast a spell while holding this, discover a spell. So you're drawing 2 off the top, getting a 2/3, and discovering a spell. That's good. Like, I would make a deck revolving around these 2 guys right here, because I'm a big fan of like spells mattering in games, and so like these 2 right here, I would make a Naga deck long before I would make the mech deck. I mean, that's just who I am. It's like, yeah, I'm much more excited about this rare and this common than this legendary. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what more stuff comes out. Okay, we're in neutral now. So what do we have here? So we got a couple Nagas here. First up, we have Crush Claw Enforcer. He is a Naga with Lobster Claws. It doesn't seem very dexterous. 3-mana 3/4 Naga. Battle Cry. If you've cast a spell while holding this, draw a Naga. Okay, that's decent. Yeah, you're casting spells. You play a prime statted 3-mana 3/4 to bring up another Naga. It's like if the only other Naga in your deck is, say, the Spell Queller. I mean, that's a good Naga to bring up. Allows you to get more discovers off, more card advantage. It's like that's something that I'm noticing here. It's like there's a lot of like a lot of good card value in what we're getting here. It's like what I mean by that is like cards that replace themselves, so you don't run out of gas in your hand. That's what I mean by value. Okay, next is the Baba Naga. He's a 4-mana 4/4. Any relation to Baba Yaga, we don't know. He's a Battle Cry. If you cast a spell while holding this, deal 3 damage. Okay, I'm into it. That's pretty cool. And the art kind of makes him look like he'd be like a Warlock minion. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I would probably play something like that in a quicker deck, a deck that needs a little more damage to go across the board, because this can go face if you needed to, or it's just a good board control tool. Very good. All right, next up, Excavation Specialist is 4-mana 3/6, Battle Cry, Dredge, and reduces cost by 1. Okay, so that's the first card we've seen that has the Dredge mechanic on it, and what we know about Dredge is that Dredge will take a card from the bottom, bring it up to the top. Let me see if there's any information here. It doesn't say anything else about Dredge, but what I understand about Dredge is that it will take the bottom card from your deck and bring it all the way to the top of the deck so you can draw it next turn. It also reduces cost by 1, so it's useful, but as a 4-mana 3/6 that doesn't really do anything the turn that it's played. Like, it doesn't do anything for board presence, it doesn't add anything else to your hand, it just kind of manipulates your deck a little bit. It's okay. I'll just say that, it's okay. Alright, next up, Piranha Swarmer. He's a 1-mana 1/1 rush. After you summon a Piranha Swarmer, gain +1 attack. You summon a Piranha Swarmer. Okay, I imagine there's going to be a way to like summon a bunch of those so they all like get big and swing at once. That's the only way I can see that being good, is if there's like a lot of them going out. After you summon a Piranha Swarm, gain +1 die. Yeah, there's got to be a way. So, reserving judgment on that. Just a common card. Next we have Amalgam of the Deep. It's 2 mana, 2/3. It's an amalgam, so it has all creature types. Battle Cry. Choose a friendly minion. Discover a minion of the same minion type. Choose a friendly minion. Discover a minion of the same minion type. Okay, so you played that. You choose another minion you already have in play. And you get another minion at the same time. So you play that with your Nagas. You can dig up another Naga. And it's Discover, so you get the best choice out of 3 potential cards. And so far from what we've seen of the Nagas, we have Crush, Claw, and Force, we got Baba Naga, we got the Mage one, we got the Hunter one. And it doesn't say that it has to be within your class. So you could potentially get a Naga from another class off the Discover. I think I'm going to be playing with that. If for no reason other than to just test it and see what I can pull off of it. That's really good. Well, I don't want to say it's really good, but it has my attention from a deck building standpoint. Yeah, we'll probably be playing with that. All right, next we have Sir Finley's Sea Guide. This is the 3rd iteration of Finley, I think. Because we had one in Uldum, and we had one all the way back in Ungoro. So let's see. 1/3 for 1 mana, Sir Finley Sea Guide, Battle Cry. Swap your hand with the bottom of your deck. Oh, that's cute. I like that. So you fucking just... You throw a bunch of dudes at the bottom of your deck, and then you dredge them all into your hand with Sir Finley. That could possibly be degenerate. And it's only 1 mana for a 1/3. It's like you get the 1/3 body on the table, and there's like no mana investment here at all because it's only 1 mana. And yeah, I can definitely see a deck built around throwing a bunch of dudes at the bottom of the deck and then just bubbling them with Sir Finley. It just goes right into your hand. That's even better than Dredge because Dredge puts it on top of your deck. That puts it directly into your hand. I like that a lot. Huh. That's another question too. Is if you've got Sir Finley and the game goes long enough where you end up drawing Sir Finley again, you could swap your hand into your deck again and just like kind of like reshuffle a little bit. I don't think it would do anything towards like extending the lifespan of your deck, but if you found a way to like make copies of Sir Finley and adding more copies of him to your hand, you could possibly start a cycle, so you never run out of cards, you never go into fatigue. But I'm not familiar enough with the standard card pool to know if that is a possibility. It might be. Might be in like Priest. Okay, moving on. Next up we have Ambassador Phelan. He looks like a Nightborn. He's a big boy too. He's a 4 mana, 4/5. All right, so he's got prime stats at 4 mana. Battle Cry. Put 3 colossal minions on the bottom of your deck. Okay, there's your combo right there. You put 3 colossals on the bottom. You swap them out with Sir Finley, and boom, you got colossals in your hand. Instant value. Okay, yeah, I think I think that's going to be pretty decent. I think you're going to see a lot of people playing around with that guy. If for nothing other than his very jovial presence. He looks like a very happy guy. Look at that smile. Okay, moving on. We have 4 mana, 2/6 for Blade Master Okani. Looks like a Jinyu. Let's see, he's a Battle Cry. Secretly choose to counter the next minion or spell your opponent plays while this is alive. Okay, so you Battle Cry him, and he comes away from your hand, and you choose secretly, so your opponent has no idea, to counter the next minion or spell your opponent plays. So he'll either kill a unit that comes in, and if it works like that, it should negate any Battle Cry because it's a counter. It's not kill after it enters battlefield, or to counter a spell. So that can act as counterspell number 3 in Mage, or it's just a straight up kill card. I mean, yes, your opponent can play around it by carefully choosing which ones to play, just like they would try to play around your counterspell secrets. But the important thing is that he will only perform this effect if he's still alive. If your opponent finds a way to kill him first, then they get off scot-free. So I would probably want to play this against an empty board and choose Counterspell. Because if you choose Counterspell when the opponent has board presence, they're just going to run their dudes into him and kill him. But yeah, I'm sure there are other lines of play that are going to want you to go with the kill the creature part. Probably played in a more aggressive build where you just want to get the next dude out of line, so you can just keep smashing face. It's like I could see this going very, very well for just like a low to the ground, tempo oriented build. I would probably play this in the same spot that I would play Warden Maiev from Ashes of Outland, because that card 4 mana comes down, puts an enemy card into dormancy, and you're done. Easy. You just swing on through. So yeah, I think that would play the same role. Okay, moving on. Versatile card, I like that. Okay, we got a Tuskar Trawler. It's 2 mana, 2/3 pirate, Battlecry Dredge. Okay, so it's a support card for the dredge mechanic. There's really nothing else to see there. So, got enough reasons to dredge? You want to play your Tuskar Trawler. Alright, let's move on. We're going to Priest next. Looks like Priest starts off with their Colossal. We have the Blackwater Behemoth. An 8 mana, 8/10, Colossal +1 and Lifesteal. Let's see what the Colossal is. Behemoth's Lure. 2 mana, 1/4. At the end of your turn, force a random enemy minion to attack Blackwater Behemoth. Okay. Cool. No, I like that a lot. 8 mana is a bit much for this. But I can see this being very good in a late game Priest control build. Not just because Priest is very good at resurrecting minions, so you can get this effect over and over and over and over. And if you resurrect this, remember it comes in with its other portion, which is the lure. And the timing of the attack is very important too, because you can have full control of this. Because it's not on your opponent's turn that you're forcing something to attack you. It's at the end of your turn. So you can plan this out perfectly to kill, like you work on killing your opponent's board, like all the way down to like those 1 or 2 minions that you want to swing into this. That's just amazing. That's good. That's a very good control tool, especially if you have ways to make sure that the Colossal stays topped up. Or if you don't want to go the healing route, you just play a bunch of cards that will resurrect this over and over and over and just drive your opponent mad. Yeah. And stats-wise, you're getting 9/14 worth of stats here for only 8 mana. I mean, the only thing that would make that better is if the damn thing had Taunt. But I guess it has Taunt in a different way. Taunt for a single enemy. I would play this. I would definitely play this. I love Priest. I say my top 3 classes are Mage, Priest, and probably Druid. Those are my favorite classes to play in this game. So yeah. If I were to make a Priest deck, it would probably definitely include that. Okay, moving on. Next we have Switcheroo. It's a spell. 3 mana. Draw 2 minions and swap their stats. Okay, you check the art there, and that's perfect. So you draw 2 minions, you swap their stats around. Now the clownfish is the size of an orca, and the orca's panicking. That's really cute. Okay, so yeah, you draw 2 minions, you swap their stats around. So you draw like something that has like a really small casting cost, and so it has a really big casting cost. You just swap those stats around. Where would this be good? This would be good on something that you want to die. Something that has like a really good death rattle. You probably want to swap the stats on that with something else. Something else that would be good is a good taunt minion. Something to get in the way of your opponent. Like if you get yourself a like say for instance you get the Blackwater Behemoth, and you have like Blackwater Behemoth plus like an early game taunt minion. You just swap those two stats. You drop the taunt minion. You have a nice 8-10 worth of taunt early game, and then later on, once you get into the late game, you drop the Blackwater Behemoth. Sure, it'll likely die very easily, but you are most likely also running resurrect effects, and you'll end up resurrecting that later, probably the next turn even, with its original stats, and comes in with its little buddy. So yeah, it is interesting. I would have to take a look at the card pool after rotation hits to see if that's going to be worthwhile. Because bear in mind, when rotation happens in April, we're not only getting this new set, but we're also getting an entirely new core set for the new year. So we're going to have to take an analysis of what is actually in the standard pool to see if this is a worthwhile card. On its own, though, it's 3 mana draw 2. It's 3 mana draw specifically minions. I think that's pretty decent, especially because Priest never really has a lot of good draw cards. They have a lot of good like copy cards or like stealing stuff from your opponent, but drawing their own cards hasn't always been their strong suit. So that can be fun. Okay, moving on. Serpent Wig, 1 mana. Give a minion +1/+1. If you played a Naga while holding this, add a Serpent Wig to your hand. Okay, so that just reminds me of was it the Paladin Libram from last year? You just kept you just cast it on like random dudes like every turn, and just hold a Naga in your hand for a long time. Maybe you have like a high end Naga that you're not going to be playing for like 4 or 5 turns. You just play this over and over and over and over. Yeah, it's decent. It's not great. It's decent. So you're basically just expending 1 mana for 1/1, and you just go boom, 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 boom. Now, if there's a way to, if there's like a storm mechanic or a way to capitalize on the fact that you're casting a spell so many times in a turn, that could be very nice. But I don't think there is a mechanic quite like that in Hearthstone. It'd be nice to see a storm mechanic, though. Or something else that would make casting a bunch of spells matter. Okay, moving on. Alright, we are at the Paladins. Paladins, so we start with Immortalized in Stone. It is a 7 mana holy spell. Summon a 1/2, 2/4, and 4/8 Sea Guardian with Taunt. Okay, so you are basically summoning 3 Taunt minions of varying sizes. For 7 mana. I think that's kind of expensive for what it is, but you are getting 3 dudes out of the bargain, and they're not immobile. It's like that you will be able to swing with them if they survive the next turn. I see this as a pretty decent middle of the road card. It doesn't get me crazy excited, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You might see some people playing around with that, but I don't think you're going to see like a meta deck with that. So next. We have Seafloor Savior. It is looks like a mecha gnome. It is a mech, 2 mana, 2/2, Battlecry, Dredge. If it's a minion, give it this minion's attack and health. If it's a minion. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you always dredging units? Are there dredge spells you're going to put on the bottom of your deck? If it's a minion, give it this minion's attack and health. Okay, so it's most likely always going to be a minion, unless there's something I don't know yet. And so, Battlecry, you dredge it up, it gets that minion stats. So at base, you're getting an additional 2/2 on whatever, like Colossal or whatever else you are bubbling up to the top of your deck. Now, this makes me think hand buff, because it's not specifically stating it gets +2/+2. It's stating its attack and health. So if you have ways to pump that boy up while it's in your hand, that can make it even better. But again, we got to see what's coming. So if we get a lot of hand buff support, that could be a player. But otherwise, it's a solid two mana bear. It's a solid bear. All right, moving on. Garden's Grace, 10 mana. Give a minion +5/+5 and Divine Shield. Costs 1 less for each mana you've spent on holy spells this game. Okay, so if you've already played Immortalized in Stone, that's a 7 mana discount right there. So that brings that down to a 3. Now, if you're also playing other holy spells, which you probably are because you're playing a paladin, you can theoretically get this down to a 0/0. I mean, zero cost. I mean, 0 cost to give a minion +5/+5 and Divine Shield. That's good. That's real good. But like, you can just alpha strike someone in the face with that. It's like your opponent doesn't have any taunts. Well, you got something in play. Bam, +5/+5 Divine Shield. I'm coming in. Yeah, that's pretty good. Or defensively, you just slap that on a fat taunt boy and make him even bigger. That might be overkill on defense, though. I think that's going to be very good in an aggressive list, like an aggressive list that plays a bunch of holy spells, like turn after turn. Actually, not aggressive. I think that'd be a mid-range finisher. A mid-range finisher, definitely. It's a little too slow because you're not going to be casting spells every turn and applying pressure. That's just not something you're going to be doing. All right, moving on. Kotori Lightblade is a 2/3 for 2 mana. After you cast a holy spell on this, cast it again on another friendly minion. Okay, there's the synergy right there. That's good. Oh, yeah, and it synergizes very well with the Gardens of Grace. Yeah, so boom, boom. Now, that reminds me of the spell Beacon of Light in Warcraft. It's a paladin spell. It basically makes it so like you buff another person with the beacon, and like the next heal that you send out heals both the person with the beacon and another player, or the person with the beacon and like yourself. So like, so you can a 2-for-1. And that's what this card's doing for you. You're getting a 2-for-1 on a buff spell, like say like the Guardian's Grace, or let's say if you played this in Wild with like Kodo Mount. That would just be silly. Yeah. That has potential. I like that a lot, especially because it's 2 mana 2/3. 2 mana 2/3s are primo in my book. Any time you get like a 2 mana anything that just has a great upside, I'm always playing it. Okay, moving on. Shimmering Sunfish is a 2/5 for 3 mana with Battle Cry. If you're holding a holy spell, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. Okay, that's just good. I mean, you don't even have to be casting a holy spell. You just hold the Garden's Grace or Immortalized in Stone in your hand, drop that on 3. It's a 2/5 Taunt Divine Shield at 3. That's almost a better Tar Creeper. And Tar Creeper is one of the best taunt creatures we've ever seen. If you don't remember, Tar Creeper was a 3 mana neutral. It was 1/5 with taunt. But on your turn, your opponent's turn, it got +2 attack, so it became a 3/5 blocker against your opponent. And like, yeah, this is just as good in my book. You're trading out 1 attack point for Divine Shield. Yeah, I would definitely play that. That's just a good card. I like that a lot. Okay, yeah, Shimmering Sunfish wins. Okay, Shaman. We have Piranha Poacher, 3 mana 2/5 Murloc. That's a big butt on a Murloc. At the end of your turn, add a 1/1 Piranha Swarmer to your hand. There's the flavor. He has a big butt because he's fucking wrangling piranhas. He's probably getting bit a lot. So, at the end of your turn, add a 1/1 Piranha Swarmer to your hand. Okay, so that's the end of every turn. And so that harkens back to the Piranha Swarmer we saw earlier. Here, let's zoom in on this. Okay, related cards: Piranha Swarmer, Piranha Swarmer, Piranha Swarmer, Piranha Swarmer, and Piranha Swarmer. Ooh, notice that each different one is a different color. They all do the exact same thing, but they have different colors to them. I think that's kind of cute. Yeah, they're all 1/1 for 1 rush. After you summon a Piranha Swarmer, gain +1 attack. Piranha Poacher, at the end of your turn, Add a 1/1 Piranha Swarmer to your hand. So over time, he's just going to keep making these little 1/1 rush dudes. And you can hold a few in your hand if you got time to spare, and then just rush them all out at once and take down a couple, like, 2 health, 3 health minions. Yeah. I think that's half decent. Like, it's slow. Don't get me wrong, it's slow as hell, but it's pretty decent. Okay, next we have Scalding Geyser. It's a 1 mana, deal 2 damage. So that doesn't say minion. You can go face with that. Deal 2 damage and then dredge. Solid card. Solid card for the dredge mechanic. And now we see dredge in Shaman. That's kind of where I thought dredge would live, just because Shamans are all about the elements and they would be at home in the waters. Yeah. Good card. Good card. I want to see more Shaman cards, though. Next up is Rogue. Rogue gets a Cutlass Courier. He is a 2/5 for 3 mana. After your hero attacks, draw a pirate. As I understand it, Pirate Warrior is kind of where it's at right now. Pirate Rogue would probably need to see quite a bit of support in order to come back. So, but we'll see. And I do love the art. I mean, that is one of the Sunken Vikings from Northrend. I forget their name, but yeah, that's why he's got like barnacles on him. It's all zombified and green. Anyways, 2/5 Cutlass Courier. After your hero attacks, draw a pirate. So decent. Turn 2, you equip your dagger. Turn 3, you drop that, swing with the dagger, and draw a pirate. So it's okay. I like that it's a 2/5 though. The 2/5 stat line is very good for a 3-drop. I like that a lot. Okay, next we have Bootstrap Sunkeneer. There's a sunken zombie. It's a 4/4 pirate for 5 mana. Combo. Put an enemy minion on the bottom of your opponent's deck. I like that. I like that a lot. You're not just killing something and putting it into a priest's res pool. You're just saying, go to the bottom. Just get out of my sight. I like that. I wish it was a little bit less expensive, though, because it's also a combo card, so you need to combo off with it. This would be a better card at 4 mana 4/4, or maybe 4 mana 4/3. 5 mana is a little cost prohibitive. I mean, unless you're rocking it out on turn 4 with the coin, I don't see a whole lot of use cases for this. And even still, on turn 4, what are you really sending back to the bottom that's really of any consequence? It's like you're probably just taking something off the board. Nothing that is really scary on turn 4. So, yeah. Interesting card, fun mechanic. I think it's too slow. Druid. Alright, Druid gets some fun stuff. I can see by the orc, he's a very happy boy. We start off with Flipper Friends. It is a 5 mana, choose 1, summon a 6/6 Orca with Taunt, or 6 1/1 Otters with Rush. Okay, it's modal. I like that a lot. So you either get yourself a big boy to block with, or you rush him down with a bunch of Otters. That's just good. Yeah, that's just a good card. Yeah. Funny how the commons are better than some of the epics. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. It's just too bad that we don't have the Druid quest anymore to play with both sides. That would be really fun. To summon a 6/6 Orca and 6 Otters all at once and just smash their face in. That'd be really fun. Okay, next we have Miracle Growth. It's a 7 mana nature spell. Draw 3 cards, summon a plant with Taunt, and stats equal to your hand size. Draw 3 cards, summon a plant with Taunt, and stats equal to your hand size. Okay, so you cast this, you draw 3 cards, period. So you draw 3 cards first, then you summon a plant with Taunt and stats equal to your hand size. So at turn 7, let's say you have 5 cards in your hand, you cast that, you go down to 4 cards, you pick up 3 more cards, your hand size is now 7, you get a 7/7 Taunt. Not bad. That's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. The draw 3 cards part is great, but honestly, on turn 7, you need to be removing your opponent's board. I mean, that's not the right time to be playing a taunt dude. So you need to be doing... It's good that it has taunt. I mean, it's real good that it has taunt. So you can actually force your opponent to kind of swing into your guy and remove your opponent's board that way. But they could just remove this with like a removal spell and just keep on swinging in. So then you got some new cards in your hand, and that's great. It's good stuff. But I think I would rather spend my mana on Flipper Friends over here and just rush down my opponent's minions. I think that would be the play over Miracle Growth. Probably want to play this in more of a value-oriented, slow control build. But again, rotation happening when this card hits, so we need to see what is going to be available. I hope it's good. I hope I'm proven wrong on this. Next up, we have Hedra the Heretic. She is a 7 mana, 4/5 Naga. I'm seeing the theme of high-cost cards here. Battlecry. For each spell you cast while holding this, summon a minion of that spell's cost. Battlecry. For each spell you cast while holding this, summon a minion of that spell's cost. Okay, so this person just stores up memories of spells, like that Hunter card from earlier, and then just unleashes the energy when she hits the table. This card is bad, and I'll tell you why. This is the last thing you want to see on a top deck. This is the kind of card that you would keep in your hand in the mulligan, despite it being 7 mana, because you want her to store all of those spells to unleash when she drops in. If you can get it to work, that's pretty decent. But also bear in mind that you're not just getting like a bunch of like high-end minions off this. You're likely going to see her coming in with a bunch of small spell casting costs. You're talking like 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana. It's like, sure, she'll be able to fill the board, but those are random minions of those spells' costs. So you cannot determine whether it's going to be good or not. Versus like back in the day with someone like, say, King Ferris. King Ferris, it was 9 mana, but that person came into play with minions of the same casting cost of cards that are in your hand at the time of casting them. So if you rip him off the top, he's already infinitely better than Hedra the Heretic. This could work if she held the memories while she was in your deck as well. If that was how this card worked, like just casting a bunch of minions out like on the draw, if you could like top deck her and not have it be soul crushing, then yeah, I think that would be good. But the fact that she has to be in your hand when you're casting spells, that makes the card very bad. And on top of that, she's only a 4, 5, or 7 mana. I'm going to hard pass on that one, which sucks because like I really like that art. I like that art. Alright, moving on. We have Kolak. He is a 7 mana, 6/5 Colossal. So this is your Druid Colossal. He is Colossal +1, and he is immune while you control Kolak's shell. Let's take a closer look. Kolak's shell is a 0/8 taunt, death rattle, gain 8 armor. Oh, shit. That's awesome. I like that a lot. Yeah, so you are summoning a 6/13 taunt. A 6/13 taunt for 7 mana. Yeah, that's just good. Because this cannot be removed in any way without this being removed first. So you can't just use a removal spell on Kolak, because he's going to survive. Even if you use a board sweeper to like if you use God, what's the card? Twisting Nether from Warlock to destroy all minions. This survives. The Kolak shell dies, you gain 8 armor, but Kolak lives because it was immune at the time of casting. So yeah, that would be an amazing use case for multi-class design, allowing you to play this in Warlock. Or another class like Mage or Priest or any other class that has like a destroy all minions kind of mechanic, and that would just survive through it. Yeah, I like it. That's just straight up a good card. extremely resilient. And at 7 mana, getting that much stats, ooh, good stuff. Yeah, I'm very excited for Kolak. I'm not excited at all for Hedra, which is a shame because I really like the Naga mechanics. Alright, next up we have Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter, we have Multi-Strike. 1 mana, Fell spell. Give your hero +2 attack this turn. They may attack an additional enemy minion. +2 attack, they can attack twice. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can just punch twice. I like it. Looks like we have the Colossal for Demon Hunter here. It is Zilog of the Abyss. He's a 3/6 Colossal +4, so it means he comes in with 4 things, which hopefully makes up for his small stats. At the start of your turn, increase the damage of Zilog's stocks by 1. Alright, let's take a closer look. Zilog's stock. Okay, and they all have different art. Very cool. Okay, Zilog's stock. 2 mana, 1/2, demon. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. Okay, I like that. Deal 1 damage to a random enemy. And on Zilog, at the start of your turn, increase the damage of stocks by 1. So for every turn that this lives, these do more damage. And it's to a random enemy. Now, it's not random enemy minion. That can go face. 1, 2, 3, 4. You end your turn. Yeah, at the end of your turn. So yeah, the turn that this gets played, these all smack for 4. And your opponent takes their turn. Your turn comes around. If Zilog somehow didn't get killed, you increase the damage. You do your turn, you end your turn, the stocks do 2, 4, 6, 8 damage. They just start whipping things. Yeah, that could be good. That could be really good. If you can manage a way to protect Zilog, that could be really good. Okay, yeah. Next up, Warlock. They have Gigafin. Much better than Megafin. He's an 8 mana, 7/4 Murloc, Colossal 1, Battle Cry. Oh god, I do not need a Colossal Murloc. Devour all enemy minions. Death Rattle, spit them back out. Okay. Alright. Again, see, like, my deck builder brain is just telling me this would be so cool if I could also play this in Priest and just silence it. He battle cry, devour all enemy minions, and then you put a silence effect on him, and then he doesn't spit them back out when he dies. That's just good. That would be amazing. Well, I don't know. Are there still silence minions in the game? Does the owl still exist in standard? Because if the owl still exists, then you could play this and then owl silence to prevent it from spitting those guys back out. Yeah. Okay, let's see what the Maw is. Alright, so we have Gigafin and Gigafin's Maw. That is disgusting artwork, and I love every minute of it. Alright, Gigafin's Maw is a 4/7 taunt, death rattle, permanently destroy all minions inside Gigafin. Oh. Okay, I like it. That's pretty cool. So, ask the taunt, and if your opponent cannot get around that, if they can't deal the 4 damage to Gigafin, he just eats them all. They're just done. Gone. Dusted. Not bad. So you're essentially getting an 11/11 taunt minion that obliterates the enemy board if they can't deal with the front end of a Gigafin. That's good. Yeah. No, that's good. That's fun. I want to build a deck with it. Yeah. That looks like a lot of fun. Okay. Yeah, Gigafin's going to be fun. Alright, and we have another Murloc for Warlock. It is Blood Scent Vilefin. It's a 4/4 for 4. Okay. Battle Cry, Dredge. If it's a Murloc, change its cost to health instead of mana. Oh, okay. No, that's just good. Anytime you can cheat shit out for free, I mean, just use your health as a resource, that's just good. Yeah. Battlecry Dredge. Dredge up Gigafin. Gigafin comes down turn 4. Yeah. Yeah, if you find a way, Okay, yeah. Okay, so Dredge, look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck, put one on top. Okay, yeah, so if Gigafin happens to be in those bottom 3, you bubble that all the way up to the top, and boom, sacrifice 8 health. 8 health is very easy to get back in Warlock. Yeah. That's just funny. That's really funny. Yeah, if those are the only like Murlocs you're playing, and you can dredge it up. Yep. I like it. I like it a lot. That could be fun. I just wish Dredge put the card in your hand. That's the only thing I wish. That would probably be too strong. Okay, well, anyway, so that's what we have so far. It's still very early in the reveal season, so we don't know everything we're gonna get. But as it is right now, I definitely want to see what we're going to get from the core set, as well as the rest of the cards from this set, before deciding if I want to buy into this or not. At the moment, I'm not buying into this, but if I see some more things that show me some value in a purchase, then yeah, the set looks good to start. I want to see where it goes, but yeah. So we'll probably do another one of these in another week to see the more cards that get released, because they release like a couple new cards like every day, so it'd be kind of pointless for me to make an updated video every day. So I'm just going to check back in this time next week, make another video, and see what we have then. And then I'll probably have a more concrete idea on whether or not I want to play this set or not. But as is right now, it's looking pretty good. I like it. All right.